This young child walks along the beach, and on this beach, hundreds of starfish wash on shore, doomed to dry out and die. But this child walks along, and every time he sees one, he picks one up, and he throws it back into the ocean, giving it another chance at life. He can't get to all of them, but every morning this child, on his way to wherever he's going, picks up another starfish and tosses it back into the ocean. And he does this every day for a while, day by day, walking along the beach, tossing another starfish back in. And one day, this old man who's been seeing him do this comes up to the child and asks, "Why are you doing this? Hundreds and hundreds of starfish wash up on this shore every day, and you can never save all of them. Why even bother? You're not making a difference." And the child looked at the man and looked down at the ground at his starfish at his feet. He picked up that starfish and tossed it back in the ocean and said, "It mattered to that one." And that's the story. And it's a simple story with a simple message, meaning that if you do something, even in the grand scheme of the huge insurmountable obstacle that is the bigger problem, if you chip in just a little bit, it'll go so far.
My name is Markiplier, but that's just my handle. My full name is Mark Fishbach. I'm a biomedical engineering student from the University of Cincinnati. And I'm introducing myself again because I realize that the more subscribers I get, the more people that see my videos who don't have any idea who I am and why I do this YouTube thing. And to really get an idea of why I do this, you have to go back a year. Last year was one of the worst years of my life, and I'm not even exaggerating like that. I was in a terrible relationship. I got kicked out of the house. I had an appendectomy where they then found a tumor, a ganglioneuroma in my adrenal gland, if you're curious. And it just all culminated into a year where I didn't know what I was going to do or why I was doing it. So flash forward to this year, where in April I finally started a YouTube channel just on a whim. I didn't even really see it going anywhere. I just did it because I thought it'd be fun. And my first subscriber was actually just a best friend of mine. I never want to stop doing this. I'm almost positive now that in some way entertainment is always going to be a big part of my life.
You can't do something like this and entertain people and forget who started you, who brought you up to where you are today. You can't lose focus on what that is, and I try not to do that, because when I started this out and I had maybe a handful of subscribers in the tens, you know, I was honored to entertain those 10 people.
Even though I wasn't very confident in myself, and even though early on I had a very bombastic personality that was flawless in every way and so strong and handsome, but in reality, there were so many doubts in my mind of who I was and what I was doing and why I was doing it, but I just kept at it with this constant, unrelenting idea that I could be a better person. And in a way, that's who I wanted Markiplier to be. That's who I wanted people to see when they watched my videos. I wanted them to see me even though I had so many downfalls and I had so many wrong points in my life and I had so many things that I wanted to change. I wanted people to see what I could be.
The way to get more successful on YouTube or in anything is simply to believe in yourself. And you may be going, no, that's a cliche in and of itself, but actually, hear me out on this one. It's a simple answer with a complicated explanation. Because when you start anything, not just YouTube, but when you start anything, you're alone.
Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to have anyone that wants to support you. You're not going to have people that believe in you. You're not going to have people that want you to succeed. Because there have been people that have done that and have failed. And because they have failed, they think that no one else should be able to succeed. And this applies specifically to YouTube, but also generally to life. But in YouTube, it's even harder. Because if you think about it, there are thousands upon thousands of people that want to do exactly what you want to do. Especially when it comes to gaming. I mean, it's different for different genres, but for gaming, there are 1,000 people that can pick up a computer, play games, record themselves, and do commentary. And that's really intimidating for a lot of people. It's really intimidating, and it was for me. But then again, when I started YouTube, and a lot of you know my story, but when I started YouTube, I didn't go into it trying to become this amazing commentator. In fact, for the most part, when I started doing YouTube, I wanted to do Let's Plays because it gave me a chance to practice my voice, which I wanted to do to go into voice acting, which I'm probably need to try to start into pretty soon. I have done a few animations here and there, but I'm getting sidetracked now. When you're starting YouTube, because other people have done it and have failed, and because no one had your back, that's the time when you need to trust in yourself more than anything else. Because when I started, I had nothing but time. I had a whole lot of time and no one to believe in what I was doing. So I had to believe in myself. And I had to push myself every day to get up and start working on YouTube. And you know what? It was easy for me because I knew what I was doing and I was doing it for entertainment purposes. I was doing it because I love to do it. I love to get up, and take a new challenge, try something new, do something better than I'd done before, and improve on myself every day. But the only reason I was able to do that and get up and spring out of bed and stay up late at night and lose sleep over it was because I believed in myself. I believed that I could do it. From the first time I started to get popularity, I started to get subscribers, when I hit that first 1,000, and this is before I lost my first channel. A lot of you don't know. I lost my first channel. My AdSense account got banned and I had to start all over again. But this even before that. When I got that first 1,000, I realized that I was onto something good. And it was part and partial to my dedication to what I wanted to do. See, I dedicated 12 hours out of my day every day. And a lot of people don't have that kind of time, but that unwavering dedication and unwavering belief in yourself. And even though I got tons of criticism, outrageous amounts of criticism, that kind of is, I'm still getting some of it today, but I've learned to ignore it. Just people that want to bring you down, people in the comment section saying you're stupid or you're ugly or no one likes you or no one wants to watch you. They're watching you right now. But then you get other people that start to notice what you're doing. And that's when it starts to become easier. And if you start something, and this just doesn't apply to YouTube. This is not just about YouTube. This is about anything you do. This is about school. This is about work. This is about starting your own business. This is about being your own person. You have to believe in yourself because that fire and that passion, I read this analogy somewhere where you have this burning passion to do something. And it doesn't matter what it is so long as you believe in it. And that burning passion will start to catch fire, and the fire grows bigger and bigger until other people around you start to notice that guy's on fire. They want to find out what it's about, and they'll either be like, oh, he's going to burn himself to the ground, or they're like, holy crap, he's onto something. And you see, this small belief, this one person believing in yourself is all it takes to start snowballing down to this incredible plateau of something that you can create out of nothing. So if you have the question in your mind, how do you become successful at anything at all? You have to start by believing in yourself.
People may tell you that, you're not doing things right, or they want you to be a specific person. And I try to tell you guys that you be whoever you want to be. People may try to bring you down. People will always try to bring you down. There's always going to be people that will say that you're not good enough, or that you should be doing it some other way, or you should just forget your dreams because they're unrealistic. But dreams are supposed to be unrealistic. You're supposed to be able to reach for the stars. You're supposed to be able to reach as high as you can and push yourself as far as you can go, because you never know what your limits are until you reach them. Even if you don't believe in yourself now, know that I believe in you.
With all my heart, I believe that you can do good in this world and that you can be a force for good. Because there's nothing stronger than the power of one person who decides to do something. And I'm just one guy here that people decided to believe in. But you can do amazing things, and I know that you can because I did it, and I'm a screw-up. I've done stupid things, and I'm just an idiot in front of a camera, making silly voices and doing silly videos that hopefully people enjoy. And if I can do that, you can do even more. You know, I look back on how far I've come, especially when I started, because I was just thinking about it, and I had absolutely nothing when I was starting out, and you can literally do anything. It's not hyperbole when I say that. It's not just me spouting nonsense. It's absolutely true. Because when I started, I had nothing. I was in crushing debt. I had medical bills. I just came out of a surgery that changed my life, and I had literally nothing. I sold my possessions just to be able to do this. I sold, my Xbox, couch, laptop. I was debating selling my own plasma just to be able to do it. And
ask me, how do I become a YouTuber? Or how do I do this thing? How do I get started? How do I make my dreams come true? Any variation of that question is always asked of me. And the answer is so simple, and yet it's so hard to tell people exactly why that's the answer. But the simple truth is, if you want to do anything at all, no matter how hard it may seem to do it, the only thing you have to do is start. Like, a journey of 1,000,000 miles may seem like a really daunting and impossible task, especially when you see people that have already started the trip and are already far down the road and are so much better than you think you'll ever be. But that's just not true. You just need to start, because they were once at the same place you were. They started with nothing, or they started with something, and it doesn't matter because they kept going from where they were. You just need to start in whatever you do and take the first step. Because if you can take the first step, then you're going to be able to know that the journey ahead isn't that bad. Or maybe it is bad. Maybe it's constant struggle throughout your entire life. But that's not what's important. The important thing is, if you want anything, you need to start. The idea that I've been bouncing around while I was trying to figure out what I was going to say in this vlog is that, it's a fundamental principle that we all agree on. It's the pursuit of happiness. It's not the spoon feeding of happiness. It's not the giving of happiness. It is the fact that if you want something, you need to earn it.
My mindset when I approach hate is, these people, the anonymous hate on the internet, they don't know who you are as a person. They don't know the experiences that you have been through individually. They don't know what you've gone through. They don't know the pain of your life. They don't know the joys of your life. They know next to nothing except what you have put, which is a narrow sliver of your life on the internet. So that narrow image is all they base their hate on, and therefore they don't actually know you. And therefore they don't have any right to hate on you. Your life isn't influenced by that at all because they don't understand who you are.
After my dad died, I became more confused than I was before because I was so far into engineering that I didn't think that I could get out anymore. And I was stuck in these mind-numbing co-op jobs that were literally me sitting at a computer 8 hours a day, doing 2 hours worth of work, and nothing else. It was absolutely horrible, and I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. And I didn't have time for games, I didn't have an escape, I had no idea what I was gonna do.
Like, knowing that the future has different opportunities and challenges, that doesn't scare me at all. That excites me. That excites me. I just can't wait to go out there and find out what I'm good at and what I'm bad at. Like, I just can't wait to fail Like, I just can't wait to fall flat on my face. I just can't wait to, like, see how far I go and then immediately fall down and then get back up and just prove people wrong. Like, God, I love that. I love failing because it just gives me an idea of how much farther I need to go. And it gives me an idea of what the road is leading to. And that is what I love. Like, I love that. I love seeing those challenges. I love meeting them. I love showing people what I can do. Because, I mean, that's what it's all been about. When I say that at the beginning of my YouTube channel, I was only looking up, it's because I could only look up. I was at rock bottom. There was no down. And if there was a down, I didn't want to see it. So the only way to go forward was just to keep doing it every day. Because every day was better than the last day. But it was just so absolutely fire building. It built that, like that spark that I always talk about, the spark of motivation and the spark of the spark of passion. That one fire that burns in your heart for what you wanted to do. And I want to make videos. God, I love it. And it's that passion, God, it's that passion that I had back in the beginning of my channel. When I first started doing videos, I was doing them every single waking hour of the day because I loved it. Because it felt like I had something that was my own. Because I felt like I could control something in my life. And my life at the time was spiraling out of control, and I think it's paralleled right now. Like, my life was kind of spiraling out of control, and it wasn't until I let go of feelings of anger and hate. It wasn't until I let go of that which bothered me, and it wasn't until I let go of these lofty, unrealistic goals of who I should be, and I came back to who I was and who I wanted to be. I grew lazy in my confidence of what I had, that I allowed myself to lose sight of the final goal. And the final goal is to be the best YouTuber that I can be. Maybe I'll never be the best YouTuber ever, but that doesn't mean that I shouldn't keep trying every single day as hard as I can to be better. I believe very firmly that every single person in the world has the ability to do something amazing or terrible, to spread love or hate. And whether or not they do one or the other depends on us. Depends on us being strong enough to take the high road in the face of the worst adversity. Every day I'm excited for what's to come. Every day I'm excited to make new challenges for myself and exceed them, or not meet them, or fail and try again, but never stop creating, in the endeavor. Especially in the age of the internet, you're constantly comparing yourself to other people, and you're constantly comparing yourself to other people in your field of study that may be better than you are at what you're doing. They may be better artists, better musicians, better, YouTubers. It doesn't matter what subject it is. You'll often find yourself comparing yourself to others, and you'll sometimes feel like you owe it to yourself to be that good. And that is a horrible way of thinking, because that may motivate you in the short term and you'll be able to get a lot of fuck you energy is what I call it. But in all honesty, that isn't what really is gonna make you go the farthest. Because when you are constantly trying to meet the expectations of someone else, you're letting yourself down. I don't need to compare myself to anyone except myself. That's why I look back on my life so much, because I'm not comparing myself to other YouTubers. I'm not comparing myself to other artists or voiceover artists or actors if I want to do that thing. I'm not comparing to other people. I'm comparing to my past self. And this may be yesterday, it may be years ago, it may be my childhood self, those are the only people in my life that I need to compare myself to. And hopefully, as I go through my life, I'm constantly getting better. I can look back at my past self and I can be proud of what I've accomplished in the past for when it was. You have a goal in mind, and this is a goal that just drives you forward. It's what you burn for in the middle of the night. It's what you lose sleep for. It is everything that consumes your life. This goal is what you want more than anything in the world, and it's right there waiting for you to take it, and it's literally right there. And it's what you want more than anything in the world. And that's what happened to me once I found YouTube. I wanted to be a YouTuber so badly. And I knew there were dozens, hundreds of other people trying to make YouTube happen. And if I had compared myself to them and held myself to their standard from the get-go, I would never have been anywhere. I would have been wallowing in self-doubt and self-pity at how, oh, I don't have as many subscribers as them. Oh, I'll never get there. I set out only to do the best that I could. I could not live if I held myself to their standards and waited for their approval. I expect more out of myself. I expect better out of myself. I expect better out of myself every day. And that all comes from the fact that I believe in what I do. And that's not to say I ignore outside opinions. I don't even ignore people that lash out at me for what I've done in the past. I don't ignore that. I take that in. And I address that for what it is, and I influence and shape my life around it. But at the end of the day, I make things that I'm proud of. I make things that make me laugh. I make things that make me smile. And it's kind of a selfish way of thinking. And even though I would suggest you guys to be selfless and help those around you, at the end of the day, you are you. And you have you to take care of. And a lot of you guys out there don't take care of yourself. You give yourself to others, and you give yourself to others, and some of you may do it selflessly and not expect anything back. Some of you may expect something back, but you give out more than you give to yourself. And you gotta believe in yourself. You gotta be good to yourself. You gotta be good to the person that you are, because you're all you got. Till the end of your days, friends may come and go. You may have lifelong partners, but you'll always have yourself, and you have to be happy with what you got. And if you're not happy, you gotta make that goal. You gotta make that goal, and you gotta make it happen. No matter what. I believe in you guys. I'm a walking testament to the fact that you can literally do anything that you want. But you gotta believe in